Joining us now, my good friend, Bill O'Reilly, the author of the upcoming book, Killing the Killers, out May 3rd. Bill, thank you for joining us. Crime, it's almost every Monday we rehash what the weekend looked like. We had 3 separate mass shootings. There's some woman being dragged after her being killed in a duffel bag in New York. Tell us what's going on in this country.
Well, it's a contagion. It's like COVID. So violent crime in particular, when people see it on the media, when they hear about it in their neighborhoods, those marginal people on the edge are more inclined to commit violent crimes. It's about 10% of any population is violent, will hurt other people. That's the sociologist stat, which I believe is true. And then there's another 10 to 15% which will commit crimes of opportunity if they think they can get away with it. So that's a lot of folks out there. And if they're not regulated, if they're not punished, if they're not discouraged from committing antisocial acts, they'll do more of them. So enter the permissive age of progressive politics where crime is not punished. While under Giuliani in New York, some other mayors who were tough, quality of life crimes were prosecuted. They were called the broken windows crimes. That discouraged low-level criminals from doing more of that. Now we have the total opposite. So people are being let out of bail for violent offenses in New York. People say, look, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to get punished.
Yeah, and we're approaching numbers, and we talk about, up 6% versus last year, or murder rates even versus last year. But yet last year and the year before are elevated. Bill, in the 90s they had spiked and they started to come down for 30 years, and now we're approaching 3-decade high numbers in violent crimes across the country. And it's not just blue cities; it's everywhere.
And it's minorities who are getting hurt the most. About 88% of violent crime victims are minorities in the United States. But where are the outcries? Where are the demonstrations? So after George Floyd was killed, demonstrations popped up everywhere, some of them violent. People got out in the street. They were outraged about police officers killing this man. But now, when thousands of minorities are being killed, where are the demonstrations? There are no demonstrations. So I'm not really getting it. And I don't think there's any organization that represents minority Americans that is encouraging a crackdown against violent predators. I don't know of one if there is.
Bill, I remember when we were working together over at Fox, you early 15 years ago, you used to talk about the lack of the fatherless African-American family. I'm not sure that this new crime phenomenon is that more versus what you just pointed out, lack of prosecuting even high crimes, but small crimes as well. This feels like this could be fixed even if the father situation hasn't been fully fixed within the minority communities.
Could be fixed just like it was fixed in New York City after the crack wars of the 90s, but you got to punish. You got to isolate. And society has to say, look, we don't want anarchy. We don't want people running around in the subways of New York knifing other people. Crimes in New York City subway, and they're crimes of opportunity because there's very lax policing there, are staggering. So the tie-in is you can stop crime, particularly violent crime, with harsh punishment. You can do it. China has done it. Singapore has done it. All right? Harsh punishment works. The sociological decline of the family, and that's across the board, not just blacks, but it hit blacks the hardest. That's a more intense situation that isn't going to be, that can't be handled as quickly. But harsh punishment stops crime.
Yeah, we really need to, in the Soros effect and all the money he spent having liberal prosecutors come in and really push harsh punishment to the side and whatnot, and policing to the side. Bill, before we let you go, I want to, Andrew Cuomo came out today and he is now pointing a finger at the corruption going on in New York State. This is a man who has been, one of the most corrupt governors of New York in the history of very corrupt governors of New York. Your thoughts?
Well, New York is a corrupt state, so he's not wrong saying that. All right, that's number one. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. I've lived here, I've lived everywhere, but I was born here, and I spent the majority of my career here. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, is very true. But the level of corruption is mostly Cuomo's fault because he signed the insane no-bear law. He caved. He was a coward. Now, in his administration, was it corrupt? Well, certainly the COVID nursing home thing was insane, and then he wouldn't cop to it, lied about it. He used subordinates to write his book, for which he received $5 million, and they didn't get anything. So I think that's pretty corrupt. So, yeah, he is a hypocrite, but what he's saying is not false. New York is a corrupt state.
I remember about 10 years ago, he was on some anti-corruption kick, and he told his people, whoever, he told the district attorneys to go find where the corruption was, is leading back to him. So he dropped that investigation very quickly. Bill, before we go, I wanted to ask you about a couple of things. There was some microbiologists couldn't exactly figure out what this new marine life was. Can you show the picture of this? Can you tell us what you think this might actually be right here? We'll put it up, guys. There we go. What is that? Is that the Loch Ness Monster?
I'm underwater, I'm underwater in the Turks Caicos, frightening the fish. I was down there about 10 days ago, and as you may know, I'm a diver, and it's a good hobby. And the fish actually like me. They're kind of like, oh, is that O'Reilly? Is that him? The no spin zone?
While we're at it, what is this? Who does this to their dog? I mean, we're all about the dogs here. Check out this picture of. No, that's the hostage video dog. I'm talking about the other one with the Easter Bunny. We have the Easter Bunny picture with the dog. We have that one.
The Easter Bunny dog. Now that's Holly the Terror Dog, who is the promotional arm of BillO'Reilly.com. See, I don't have to hire marketing people, Bolling, because my dog markets my website. Holly the Terror Dog has 3 million Twitter followers and hasn't been banished.
Show Holly again in Bill's lap. Show the other one of Holly with the hostage video where Holly's like, "Save yourself, run now. I'll take care of this guy. I'll take one for the team."
The look says, "How do I get the hell out of here?"
You're the best. All right, Bill, my friend. Bill O'Reilly, thank you for coming on as always. Remember, folks, you can get Bill's new book, Killing the Killers, The Secret War Against Terrorism,